Hello everyone and welcome to Hot Off the Shelf. Hot Off the Shelf is a new series that we've decided to introduce that will allow us to get out videos quicker than we normally get them out. They're not as in-depth as our reviews or retrospectives would be, but it's essentially a first impressions, if you will. So for the first episode today, we will be taking a look at Sackboy: A Big Adventure, specifically the PS5 version. The PS5 is here. I hope everyone who wanted one was able to get one. And if not, I hope you get one soon. I know they are insanely hard to come by, and scalpers aren't helping at all. Fortunately, I was able to get one just at the tail end of December, and so far I'm very happy with the console. But what's a console launch without games, right? The PS5 launched with some amazing games such as the Demon's Souls remake, Spider-Man Miles Morales, and many more. But the most important title for me had to be Sackboy. Now I'm sure many of you are wondering what Sackboy is and probably didn't even realize it was a PS5 launch title, and on the PS4 as well. I'd be very surprised if people are actually playing Sackboy. I'd assume it's getting overlooked due to other titles that launched with the PS5, and maybe you could argue that the PlayStation just isn't the platform for the audience that Sackboy: A Big Adventure caters to. So what's Sackboy? Sackboy: A Big Adventure is a 3D platformer developed by Sumo Digital and published by Sony. Sackboy stars, well, Sackboy. Sackboy is the protagonist of the Little Big Planet series, which made its inception in 2008 on the PS3. My knowledge of the Little Big Planet series doesn't stretch far. I know who Sackboy is and I'm aware of the series, but I didn't own a PS3 during its release window, so I never dug deep into the Little Big Planet titles. But the interest was always there, so naturally when I saw the reveal trailer for Sackboy: A Big Adventure, I was immediately gravitated towards the game and knew when I got my hands on the PS5, Sackboy: A Big Adventure would be the first title that I pick up for it. I know you may be thinking I could have just played this on my current PS4 Pro, but I wanted the PS5 version because I wanted to play the best version of this game possible. Now between the two, I don't think there's a huge difference, excluding some of the features that are exclusive to the DualSense controller for the PS5, and then of course some performance, textures, and resolution differences as well. Gameplay wise, Sackboy controls as fluid as possible. Simple, but an effective level of mobility for a 3D platformer. The level design is sprawling with life and creativity, with tricky enemies littered throughout, and tons of collectibles and costumes to find, which I'd highly recommend tracking down. They're well worth the feeling of satisfaction. If you find the main campaign to be a bit sluggish, you can practice your skills with the Knitted Knight trials, which need to be unlocked through the main campaign first though. The plot is pretty straightforward, and I don't want to spoil too much, but your main objective is to save your fellow Sacklings and defeat the villain Vex. I know that's pretty vague, but after all, this is a platformer, and I really don't think you need much narrative or exposition in games like this. It really boils down to the gameplay. Easily the biggest highlight for me has been the soundtrack. This soundtrack does nothing but exude charm. It's such a warm and pleasant feeling, and that's the tone that Sackboy: A Big Adventure delivers to me. So far, I have really been enjoying the game. I really don't have a lot of issues with it besides one minor thing. Now, the game does support online co-op, and it also supports couch co-op as well. Unfortunately, there are some levels that you can only play in co-op, which is kind of unfortunate to have those levels tied to that mode that some people might not be able to actually play in. Other than that, no major issues. Now, this is not a full-fledged review, but a simple hot take or first impressions, as I mentioned earlier, of the game. I wanted to get this out as soon as I could because I just simply adore this game so much, and I want to give it the attention it deserves. Could really go on and on about this game, but I want to keep this short and sweet. If you have a PS4 or PS5, give it a try. I know $59.99 is a steep price for a platformer, unless you're Mario of course, but in my humble opinion, Sackboy: A Big Adventure is a pleasant delight full of color, vibrance, and charm. This was Hot Off the Shelf, and Sackboy: A Big Adventure is a game I wouldn't let cool down. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.